Good morning. Monday, 3rd of March, week 10. We are a fifth of the way through the year. If that's not a scary fact, I don't know what is. 8:43. It is a public holiday here in WA, so a bit of an interesting day ahead. I do have work that I need to be doing, but anyway, the vlog is up and running. What are we looking at? 386. Strangely, the YouTube app on your phone gives you a different total to things like that, but anyway, that's where it is. Some good comments, including one which seems to be complete gibberish to me. Where is it? That one. Whatever OKX USDT alarm fetch churn bridge, whatever that is, don't know. That seems like some kind of weirdness to me. Anyway, we are starting at 573,411. That is up on last week by a fair amount. We were 566-ish last week. But that is pretty much because last week was an absolute shocker of a week of sales. The lowest week in all regards for parts sold, average sales, average value. We put in 9,000, well, almost 10,000 parts, and we only sold 3,300 and something parts. So that's good for the growth, but not good for sales. An absolute stinker of a week. Those kind of sales levels from my kind of store tracking look like they were kind of mirrored elsewhere. So not like a major alarm bell, but definitely statistically, it definitely seemed like this time last year that was a similar thing happened with sales for the next 2 or 3 weeks being rather sluggish. Whether that's to do with just the time of the year, whether that's to do with the release of Lego sets, obviously Star Wars stuff, Speed Champions and lots of other things all coming out in the now almost monthly barrage from Lego of new sets, probably putting downward pressure on secondary market sales. The sorting continues. This time these tiles are all now sorted out, so a little bit of a rethink about what's going to go where. The biggest volumes of those being white, black and dark red, interestingly. Other popular colours obviously, and then a whole raft of ones where there's lots of colours, so a little bit of a rethink of that through the day. I didn't do any more on those two part outs, which will come as a shock to nobody. Given that it's a public holiday, there is no post, so I haven't done the postage labels for that yet, although I did start work on reordering the drawers. So this is the Spotlight drawer with the smaller width drawers, which was out of sequential order, which I'm now transferring into the larger, wider, able to divide into 3 Kmart drawers, which were significantly cheaper, and I don't know, they could be better. So I'm just working through that before we're able to just move on and numbering all of those. Just kind of, it's one of those jobs that you have to concentrate on, because obviously 991 parts come out of this drawer. Not that you need me to show you this. And they need to go into the new 991 drawer, which doesn't need its center divide, so that can come out. That goes like that. Ta-da! And up it goes, like so. And then we've got 1000 there. Where is 1001? They're all over there still. So I just have to move 141 into here, so 161 needs to move to its place and stuff like that. So there's a little bit of kind of moving stuff around, but there you go. But as I said, I do have some work that I need to be getting on with today, which is probably going to take up a lot of my time, which means it's going to be a long day, because we also have, if I just log into the iPad, we also have 6 orders to pick, only 76 lots. It's 672 items, so that's not too not too much like a big job to tackle at the moment, and obviously it is the start of the month, so all the invoices are in, so that's super depressing for anyone that does that every month. You kick off the month with all of these massive invoices and it does feel a little bit like rubbish, but that's the reality of it all. So big day ahead, so I'm just going to crack on and we'll catch up later on once I come up for air and continue to try and sort this out and then move on to some picking. A pretty productive Monday. As I've said before, it's a public holiday here in WA, so there's no post today, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 orders picked, as well as doing other things. First one, pretty basic, 3 colour 1x1 bricks in that one. Again, kind of quite basic parts in that one. This one, a Boba Fett torso and helmet, nice. Whole load of light blue grey plates and some other random parts in there. An array of stuff like that, probably some kind of vehicle in that one. Masonry bricks, 3x1 bricks and other things in that one. Russell's Cities project has reached its yellow and green phase with a bit of dark brown, some more skulls and those kind of piratey hats, a diver who may be going for sunken treasure perhaps, and a kind of farmery type town character, and some more skull heads over there with a whole load of medium lavender stuff and a batch of kind of botanicals type parts in this one. So yeah, decent. Plenty of these are domestic letter, so their all labels are all printed. Still need to do the post for all of the others, but as I was busy working on other things, I haven't gotten to that. But I did get to reorganising the Kmart drawers and labelling them, which takes us up to 1,210 of those. Plus we have this one sitting on top of the Gorilla Glue drawers, shelves, roller shelves, you know what I mean, waiting to be repurposed. But that's a nice little expansion. I've still got labels to do the AD drawer additions that were added at the same time, which is nice. But yeah, let's just glory in the OCD of that. Yeah. Anyone? Appreciation, perhaps? Oh, that pleases me. Anyway, so that's done. The other job that I want to get done before the end of the day is reallocation of those quarter tiles so that they are back in their slots for future picking. But other than that, it's really just wrapping up the work that I've been doing as well. But had a break, did some picking, which is a useful kind of change of scene. So Monday kind of rolling along, March week 10 kicked off in similarly steady vein. Looking back at the stats from 2023, last week, this week and next week were all very, very slow weeks. So perhaps that is a regular kind of pattern. Don't know. If you've got experience of that, please leave a comment down below and let me know. Or maybe it's just the stock is not up to snuff at the moment. Anyway, there we are. Today's orders picked and done. Let's move on to tomorrow. Tuesday evening, strike 1 on my Qui-Gon Jinn get rich quick attempt. As you can see, my get in quick before too much of the news broke failed on my first attempt. There is another attempt in the post, we shall see. So 4 Qui-Gon Jinns to add to the inventory. Never mind. 6 orders in, decent. Gold all the way in that one. Someone making I don't know, a gold spaceship. Think of Princess Queen Amidala's kind of spaceship, but in gold for some reason. But yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Wheels and flowers and some odd bits in that one. I do like those white plants. Hands, always do well, those, don't they? Banners from the museum modular, and 4 of those kind of microphone-y looking things, an odd little bunch of things in there, some more kind of planty things and stuff like that. Perhaps some other botanics that kind of could be popular. And Anthony, repeat customer, with another black, yellow, light blue grey, reddish brown, and some odds and sods in that one. So 6 in, some parcels to collect from the post office. But other than that, a fairly steady day. Shame about that. I was hoping that would be a winner, but it's not to be. They're the chances you take in this game. Fair few parts, fair few lots getting either wiped out or running incredibly low. For those of you that don't know, this is kind of my system. As things get cleared out or get down to single figures, they go on this list for potential restock. I go through them, look at the sales, look at the pricing, set up my wanted lists and things like that for future purchasing, to keep inventory replenished of things that will have a good sell-through rate or a good return on investment. It's all sounds terribly complex. It is not. Particularly impressed by the capes all being kind of in cardboard and separated out. Not something I do. Or do I put the name of the minifigure on it? But this seller does. Just a shame it wasn't the reddish brown. But hey, if anyone's after some dark brown Qui-Gon Jinns, I'm your man. I'm going to have a load of them. It is Wednesday evening. What time is it? Don't know. Hang on. 7:45. Just finished picking a large order, over 1,500 parts, predominantly dark blue grey, new buyer. Placed 2 orders, one order on Bricklink, one order on Brick Owl, both of them throw rebrickable. They did reach out and say what was the best way to handle this, and I just kind of messaged back and said the best way was to just go through with it, and any postage discrepancies I would sort out at my end. So that's a cracking order, very orderly, isn't it? Light blue, dark blue grey, black and orange. They said they were doing an 11,000 part mock, so I do wonder what it is. I'd love to know. I may try and find out for us. Over on eBay, a Hunter minifigure, Bad Batch, brilliant, always a big fan. Small parts order here, very interesting little number. Another random parts order, an awful lot of trans clear kind of projectile things in there, in red, trans neon green and the dark blue, and some other odds and sods in there, and I think that's it for ones that you haven't seen. So it was 5 orders, because that's 2, 3, 4, 5. There is one more that's come in, but I'm not going to tackle that one yet because it's getting on. I want to get the post done so that tomorrow will be post day, because Tuesday was missed Wednesday, do Thursday, and I'll try and do some on Friday as well, just to keep pace with everything. But yeah, that's where we are for today. There is a batch of parcels at the post office to collect as well, and there is some more packaging arrived, which I wasn't expecting, but here it is, waiting to be sorted. Some more parts added to that list, which is going to be another weekend job. I've got alts back on the job that I was doing for work as well, so that's kind of tomorrow evening taken up. So yeah, it is very busy, but orders like that certainly do make the week worthwhile to try and balance all of this stuff, to keep the investment coming, to keep this road to 1 million rolling. So thanks to everybody and all of those people that have kind of messaged me and stuff like that in the last couple of weeks as well. Your support is massively appreciated. Stick with me. I am trying to get a good routine going, and we'll keep rolling on. Cheers. Friday morning. Thursday vanished on us, so that's just the way it is. There was other things that needed to get done, but Thursday's kind of productivity was that parts arrived, and thank you to the wife, they were collected and here for Friday to try and get into the store through the day. There are 4 orders which we'll talk about in a minute, although I've not picked them yet. 5 orders, mainly parts, things that needed replenishing, some packaging from Ozpack. Their Ziploc bags actually come with free shipping, even though they are really heavy, whereas their boxes, shipping costs more than the actual packaging. So go figure that out. Yes, I am moaning again. How can something that is as heavy as the packaging be free shipping, yet the packaging itself costs so much? It's not that it's not bulky, because it is. Anyway, 3 more Qui-Gon Jinns arrived, and 3 more dark brown beards, and that is the last of my efforts in that front. So we now have 7 useless Qui-Gon Jinns, and I may well just break these down into parts, to be honest. No need to have 7 of those in the store. Whole load more parts here. This is in fact 2 orders all thrown in together. 1 order was just masonry bricks, which whilst I've covered up the address, this was the packaging that it came in, which is just an actual Lego box, which, whilst I appreciate getting the order and it being kind of nicely packed and stuff like that, this is just asking for trouble. Like, all you need is a bit of a thrifty person in the supply chain, and they're thinking that's a Lego set that they could then just flip, isn't it? I mean, that's just come on, people, get your beep together. So as I mentioned, there's 4 orders in terms of the week. There's a few things to say about that. Historically, as I think I said earlier in the week, last week, this week and next week were the worst in 2024, and they are continuing to be so in 2025. I'm not quite sure how this one is tracking against week 10 in 2024, but it is already 50% down on last week, and last week was an absolute stinker, so you can imagine how well this week's going. It's not been a worst thing in the world, because it has meant that I've had a little bit more time to myself, given that I am pulled between kind of 3 jobs in the last week, trying to get things done and moving so that there is a little bit more revenue and stuff like that. What are we looking at? Average value of orders is up on last week, which is good, but every other statistic is down. So it's a dark time, but it is what it is. And there's a couple of things that I wonder about that. Obviously, I've only been uploading once a week, the weekend. Maybe that is having an impact, as opposed to kind of more regular, frequent during the week uploading. Maybe that's something I need to think about moving forward. I'm probably not going to think about it this week or next. I'm just going to kind of see how we go, a little bit of an experiment, see what kind of transpires from that. But it is something that I'm mindful of. Perhaps that is having an impact on where we are. But maybe it's just this time of year. I know from my kind of other comparable stores tracker that other stores are similarly kind of on a par with orders. Not all, obviously. There are some stores that are doing really well. Stores that are bigger are definitely kind of maintaining their levels. Stores with high lot counts in that 20,000 plus are continuing at a good 50% more orders than I am achieving. But all of these statistics kind of play a part. And with time short, there's not a lot I can do about that at the moment, other than continue trying to get parts into the store that bring people in, which is what this order of Bricklink orders is. So 3 Bricklink stores orders all in. These will get kind of put away. Obviously, getting them BSX files and stuff like that is pretty straightforward, and I do want to pursue getting a counting scale as well. Need to work out what to do with these Qui-Gon Jinns. There's this packaging to put away, there's some tidying up to do, and there are 4 orders to pick, 3 of which are really quick. One of them is 1 part and one of them is 40 parts. So I'm going to pick those 3 now. the larger one I'll pick during the day, which is for Thomas, regular buyer, and we'll see what else comes in during the day, and we'll have a catch up kind of midway through the day. So Friday afternoon, 2 orders have come in. I've picked one of them because it was quick and easy. This one here. The other one is from Ricky, which we will talk about later. Yeah, talk about it later because it's going to be a bit of an interesting ongoing saga, I think, for the vlogs. It's going to be fun. Anyway, of the 5 that I've picked, Marok helmet in that one. 49 of those kind of minifigure CMF kind of plates. Supreme Leader Snoke and a chrome curved lightsaber hilt. Mixed bag in that one. Kind of, it definitely has a bit of a Star Wars feel. One blaster. Don't know, when I always see the kind of the dark tan, it just makes me think of Andor because of that kind of more kind of subdued, serious tone. And having watched the kind of the special look video that came out with Diego de Luna and the extra footage last night, wow, I was very, very excited for season 2. Given that I've said it before and I'll say it again, Rogue One is my favourite Star Wars film, closely followed by Rebels, closely followed by Bad Batch, but Rogue One is it. And given that this is going to bridge what was fantastic Andor season 1 into Rogue One, the movie, this is going to be outstanding. Cannot wait. And then this one, Thomas's order that came in the other day, and I couldn't pick it because I had other commitments. Straightforward kind of stuff. A lot of dark blue grey, some light blue grey, black and white, and a tiny little bit of sand blue in there. And then the other straightforward one is just 5 3x3 dishes with a solid stud. Yep, so straightforward. And as I said, Ricky's is the other one that is in. Parts have all been put away, and we'll take a look at that in a second. So here we go. 5,193 parts, 43 lots, pretty much doubling me money on what I bought. A fair few bits of it were in sales, some of it was kind of just good value, not quite doubling me money, but not too bad. You kind of saw what it was. Most of it was in stock. Well, no, half of it was in stock, half of it wasn't. Some of it was just stuff that kind of turns over pretty good, and other stuff was just parts that I was trying to get to the levels that I wanted to kind of replenish from other orders. So that's pretty good. 5,193 parts going in puts us ahead of what we sold this week for the second week running, which is decent. Still got that to sort out. I couldn't find those bright pink 1x1 plates the other day, and I found them just in the course of picking an order the other day, so I need to put them back in the inventory. Some reallocation here. I've repurposed a 2-litre tub for the masonry bricks because that was all that was in a 2-litre tub, so they can find a new home. And then these are the bits that need to be reallocated. Those cheese slopes were in D30, way too many of those now, so that's all good. And then just some other bits that need to be reallocated, quick and easy jobs. Get those done before anything else happens. Postage to get done, given that Friday is a kind of day in the store sort of thing. I can get that down to the post office, enjoy a bit of walk, and go and have a chit chat with the guys in the post office, which has been missing from the week. And then we'll be into kind of worrying about these bits, won't we? That could be a good little weekend job. Get those two parted out and into the store, which means we would be up to date. I don't know how many parts that will add to things, and obviously there's the usual crap lying around on the floor that I need to tidy up. But yeah, going well. Ricky's order is a fair old amount, 163 lots, so we'll maybe make a start on that later, and I'll explain the backstory, and we can start our guessing game. Well, it's been a while, so here is a bit of an update on the oval. Pitch is done, posts are in, all 4 of them, because you need 4, but no floodlights, even though it is kind of first week of March, isn't it? was going to be done by March. Easy hell. One's going there, obviously. One's going over by that old stand over there. One's over there where those orange bits are. And one's going in that corner, obviously. Pitch is in, looking a bit patchy. They need to get that a bit more watered and stop cutting it so short, I would say. But I guess if you keep it short, you don't get weeds. But as you can see, beautiful Friday. I think the AFL kicks off this weekend. Not that I really understand it as a sport, as I've said before, which is probably a trigger for all you WA people and the Queensland people. But Queensland's obviously a bit distracted, as is the north of New South Wales today, given that they are facing the horrendous details of a bit of a cyclone. So all quiet on the western front here. But yeah, there's the oval update. I know some people love to see a little bit of blue sky, especially if you're in dreary country right now, but there you go. Post done, back to the store. Friday afternoon, here's a classic. We've got Otter32 feedback sending me a Bricklink official notification of store suspension. It came in my inbox as well with the right email address. If I click on the link, I'm going to get a $20 bonus on future orders. Which is an unusual thing, isn't it, given that there's irregular activity on my account? That's unusual, isn't it? And here's a useful link that I can click, which is bricklink.order_safeeu. Bricklink's yeah, so I can get free $20 bonus on future orders, which can be redeemed once the background check is complete. This feels very suspicious. Otter32, but the reply email address is the right email address. So be warned, everybody, there are some sophisticated scams right now. Good morning, welcome to Saturday. Bricklink acting swiftly, but not particularly thoroughly, one would suggest. Just noticing that they have careful review. Our moderation team has determined the content violates our terms of service. Very, very bland response, isn't it? But it seems that that user has been taken up, but where one is gone, another 20 has popped up. Very pleased to see that the Australian Bricklink owners Facebook page had lots of people posting on there very rapidly, spreading the word that it was a scam and stuff like that. Another interesting one this morning was this order coming in, buying 2 light grey dishes and one of these old school Imperial Scouts. They're messaging asking for it to be bubble wrapped. Asking for it to be bubble wrapped in the first message, and then asking for it to be sent in a cheaper form of postage and being refunded that. So they wanted it sent in domestic letter, untracked, as cheap as possible. To which I have responded saying that concerns me. You want it protected, but you want it sent in an envelope, which would mean it wouldn't be under the 20mm guideline, and therefore would not be adequately protected in the post. So I've suggested they stick with the parcel rate, which, yes, it's a lot more expensive, but it does protect the minifigure. And if not, they send me a message telling me that they accept full responsibility for that, because I don't want to end up somewhere down the track in a PayPal claim with nothing to protect myself other than they asked me to do it. And yeah, there's part of that just makes me feel a little bit sad that we've gotten to that kind of situation, that you're having to cover your ass so much. Anyway, 4 orders in, 9 lots, 408 items, not incredibly flying out the door. I can't even remember whether I went through them yesterday. I don't think I did. So let's do these ones first, and then we'll get on to it. This one is a local pickup, so that's all good. Bog standard kind of stuff. Interesting little one. Kind of another one of these little cogwheels. Can't remember where they came from. I think they're actually hubcaps, aren't they? But they just remind me of like pulley wheels. Blue and white parts all the way. And that one, little smattering of dark blue, grey, tan, dark tan, black. Interesting one. Russell, filling out the city a Christmas Ewok for the 2023, a couple of Series 27 CMFs, another diver, and some city type folk, and a pirate. Interesting. And this is the one that I wanted to talk about, Ricky's. So I think the word to the wise is that Ricky recently bought the UCS AT80. So I'm pretty confident that the mock that he's building from Rebrickable is something to do with that. I'm fairly confident of that. There's a little bit of trans bits, there's a little bit of light blue grey, a little bit of orange. It could, I mean, the orange could lead you to an X-Wing, but maybe not. There's a little bit of black, a couple of boosters, again, could be an X-Wingy type thing. There's some slopes, it could be an X-Wing, or it could be something Hoth, who knows. So I think it's Rebrickable that he's getting it from. If you have thoughts, suggestions, anyone built something from Rebrickable Hoth related that these parts remind you of, leave a comment down below and let's have it. Let's have some pointers, see if we can figure out. There's one, was it one? There was two dark red 2x4s, couple of reddish brown slopes, couple of control panels. It could well be an X-Wing. There was a couple of black cones, some of those could be, but it could easily be a kind of a hangar, a station, could be anything. Fascinated to know. He's not going to tell me because Russell ruined it last time by letting on that he was building one of those, so he's not letting on this time. But if you've got any ideas, comments down below. Let's have it. Let's see if we can get it before he shows us it. Right, I'm going to get on with the 4 orders that I've got to do, get them all packed up, and then I'm going to get stuck into that bunch of battle packs and try and get them in the store for the week to bolster the upload for the week. Right, let's crack on. Okay, so development on that minifigure bubble wrap domestic letter thing. The buyer also had queried to make sure it was a new figure. It's a very old figure, that one. I mean, it's one of the 2000 sets, isn't it? Kind of one of the 1998, is it even? Kind of, it's the first kind of 0005 Scout Trooper minifigures from the first batch of Endor kind of sets. It's really old. Anyway, slight discolouring to the torso on the left hand side only, so I cancelled the order. Just no point getting into that situation where you've got an expectation from a buyer. They want it pristine, they want it immaculate, they want it protected, but they want it cheap. It's that old adage, you can have it good, you can have it cheap, or you can have it fast. You can't have two of them at the same time. And whilst that's probably a little bit harsh on the buyer, and they probably didn't have any intentions, they're probably just being mindful that they're paying $14 for a figure, and I totally understand that. I hold no skepticism of it at all. I think for everyone's sake, sometimes it's easier just to be upfront and to say, look, there's a slight discoloration. I think in this situation, I'm just going to cancel it. And I've relisted it as a used figure at a cheap price. If you're interested in that, all good. If not, no problem. You know, move on. It saves an awful lot of aggravation further down the line, a disappointed sales experience and hassle for me later on down the line, which I'm sure Ricky will see me as being Victor Meldrew again, moaning about everything. But, you know, we're supposed to be doing this for the fun of it, and your people are buying Lego for the fun of it as well. So, you know, people want to buy what they're getting. So, and breathe. Speaking of which, people buying stuff. I forgot about this order, which was on eBay. Commander Cody, 1233. That one's from that ATTE, is it? Set. Anyway, you may remember way back whenever I had that South American buyer going on about the fact that it had the wrong minifigure head and leaving me that negative feedback, even though I parted it out from new. Oh, those were the days, and I'm still moaning. Anyway, moving on. Other minifigure heads. This one off to New Zealand. A lonely little minifigure head all the way off to Wellington, my old stomping ground. Kia ora to all the New Zealand viewers and buyers. 2 pieces here, keyboard and one of those kind of little, whatever you call them, going out there. And then this one, the largest order, but pretty quick and easy to pick. Oh, for a counting machine. 2x6 tiles, 2x4 tiles, clearing me out of those, in fact. Those funny little corner brackets and corner ones. This one getting the much hyped, not really, yellow brick road tile. So there we go. What we got: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 in kind of since, what was that? Is that through Friday? Oh yeah, now Saturday. Saturday lunchtime. Post office open for another hour. I'm umming and ahhing whether or not to do the post run now, go for a walk, or whether or not to just leave it and do it Monday. I have kind of settled on a rhythm of posting Monday, Wednesdays and Fridays, with a little bit of help from my good wife, helping me, given that we are kind of trying to be pulled in a lot of directions at the moment. But that's kind of where we've landed at the moment, which seems to be doing not too bad in keeping things shifting. So, regardless of whatever, I'm going to get these all packed up and notify the buyer that their order is ready for collection. I found that little stray piece hiding under the drawers, so he can go back in the used little section. Ricky and Russell's are all local anyway, so they won't take long to get there. I don't know where that one's going. I can't remember. Obviously off to NZ, eBay. Always good to get those out because they obviously hold on to the funds, because I don't offer tracked shipping on minifigures. I mean, the minifigures usually cost less than the shipping, don't they? They then hold on to the fees rather than releasing them immediately, such as the what's the right word? Such as the restrictive covenants that eBay impose. And I'm moaning again. Stop it. Stop moaning about everything. This week has been not too bad a week for parts getting cleared out. It started off fairly strong, but it hasn't got too bad since then. I mean, that's a good thing and a bad thing. It hasn't been the busiest week in terms of sales. It's been fairly steady. I think has it got any better than last week? I'm not sure yet. I'll have a little bit of look at that later on. So anyway, I need to clear the top so that I can get on with the part out of that Battle Pack 75345, which is 501st, isn't it? Anyway, that's next once I've done this, and I'll decide whether or not I'm going to go for a wander to the post office or not once I've got them all packed. Saturday afternoon, a couple more orders came in, both pretty decent value as well, which is really nice after a slow week. More of the Pharrell Williams minifigure heads kind of going out the door, along with a whole lot of jetpacks and stuff like that. Perhaps someone making some kind of Mandalorian army with a bit more character than the bog standard black heads, perhaps. That would be nice. Kind of fancy that for that. And then Thomas, I think it is, who is a watcher of the videos, with a very interesting order with some tan, some sand, blue, white parts in there as well. Predominantly light blue grey, but again, nice parts. Quick and easy to pick. It was kind of a large parts, but only 32 lots. This one getting the tile, that one getting very close, but not to be. Still no word back from the buyer on the pickup there. Just about to sit down and finish doing the this week's lots that have been cleared out, and then I didn't actually get to do the part out. I got sidetracked watching Pacific Moana versus my team, the Hurricanes, in the Super Rugby, of which the Hurricanes lost yet again. It's a different story without TJ and RD in the team, that's for sure. But transition, these things happen. Anyway, going to get me admin done, catch up on things like that, maybe sort the postage out for those two as well, and then we'll call it a day. And tomorrow we'll be getting the vlog up and perhaps picking anything else that comes in, and just keeping on top of things before we head into the next week. So I'll leave it there for now and catch you in a little bit.